Hello and welcome back to the Cove with more Surviving Mars Green Planet. Well, we're slowly on our way to making this artificial sun, but it is taking its time, but that's okay. When we do get this thing up and running, we are going to be very well set for the future, for or at least a decent amount of time, as we'll have a lot less power issues. Though, speaking of power issues, we do have a little bit in excess, and we do have a couple of needs that are not being met. Mainly gaming. It looks like gaming seems to be our one issue across the board that is causing us a little bit of dissatisfaction with the comfort of our people. So you know what? I think it's about time we build this casino complex. Luxury, gaming, gambling, and social. We don't have any more gamblers, I'm fairly sure, given our sanatorium. We have tried to get rid of that, but hopefully we should be able to, make some decent progress here. So that would be very, very nice. Oh, actually, hang on a second. Looking at the sanatorium, who is this fellow? Yeah, so at the moment we're working on, gambling. I guess that's probably one of the things. Glutton refugee, potentially. I don't think we can get rid of the refugee status, though. Okay, I think that's more of a condition, being exiled, well, not necessarily exiled to Mars, but being brought here in less than stellar circumstances. But either way, we're going to go ahead and build one of those today. We have plenty of electronics. It's only a very minimal cost as far as concrete is concerned, so we'll get that up and running. Also, with our services, I believe that there's only a single building. Where is it? I think it's a grocer here. This is the only one that doesn't have service bots. For now, I think, given the extra building performance, I don't know if it's really, we're going to go ahead and upgrade to service bots. So hopefully that should be fine. The performance will decrease potentially, but at the same time too, it may or may not be a good thing. So we at least have that final option sorted, as that was the last of all of our buildings. And then hopefully we can send a few more people to university and get our education going. So let's see, it looks like we're getting a few more graduates soon. We have a couple of engineers that we need, primarily officers though, although 29 does seem a little excessive. You know what, for now, let's go ahead and turn off that third position. In fact, let's do that across all of ours. That seems like a... we'll kick out that engineer and the medic as well. And then, let's go ahead and disable that. And I think that is a bit better. So that is 4 of them. That should cut that down by 12. So now we're only asking for 14 officers. Or maybe even, but either way, that'll work out very, very nicely. And so we should have a few more officers help deal with some of our renegades. And, I think we're all in all doing fairly well. Yeah, we have a couple of scientists that we could go ahead and train up. But right now, I'm fairly comfortable with our research per soul. We're doing a really good job of what we've got here, so I'm happy with this. So let's just see. We have... What does... how much of a boost does this give us, this network node? Increases the overall research output of the dome, so... Let's see, that's amplified, so that is an extra 45%. Wow, that's particularly nice. Okay, You know what, maybe that pairs with the other tech we got before, because that amplification should only be 25% performance. But maybe it's the other wonder that we got that gives us a little bit more of a boost. Yeah, so let's see, building performance, 224, upgrade of amplify. Extra workers on shift. Yeah, what was the tech? I think we got something along the lines of... Where was it? There was something in here. I think it was maybe... Yeah, the Omega telescope reduces the overall research costs. Maybe it just is what adds up to us getting a nice little bonus there. Either way, I'm not 100% sure, but it is what it is. So that'll be fine. We still have plenty of materials coming on in from everywhere. Our drones should have decent access
Storm approaching.
to all of the materials needed. We have our food, concrete, polymers, electronics, but again, metals. But yeah, we don't really need too much more than the concrete, metals, and polymers. So let's just double check. Yes, there is concrete there. That should well all be within range of here. So that's fine. In fact, maybe we go ahead and shuffle a couple of extra drones across. That may not be the worst idea we've ever had. Although these guys seem to be working fairly hard, so I'm not sure if that's necessarily good or bad. Alright, as for all of this, it looks like we're still making concrete over here. That should be fairly... Ah, right, this isn't going to get reduced at any time, is it? No, it looks like that's going to be a bit of a thing. Alright then, I think we need to move this universal depot. It's clearly not working as I had intended to be able to cheese both of the hubs. So we're going to go ahead and put it a little bit further across. Let's go ahead and put the universal depot right about there. Yeah, that'll be fine. And then we'll just make sure that this is not accessible to food. We'll leave the rare metals because we'll have that at some point. Although, you know what? We can activate that later. Let's see. Polymers, we may want a couple. Machine parts, we may need a couple for maintenance as well, so we better leave that there. We'll turn off the electronics, fuel, and seeds. Oops. Yeah, I think that should be about what we need. Yeah, and then we can go... Actually, you know what? Maybe we go ahead and build another dumping site as well, just so it is more accessible to some of these other piles of things. Yeah, let's go ahead and build a large dumping site nearby. And that should at least make sure that these things are up and running. We probably need to change a few things. Let's go ahead and shut down the... Yeah, we'll get rid of this universal depot. I don't think it's really that helpful anymore. So we'll let that be. Right, we also have a rocket ship with plenty of exports. I think we go and make some money. Let's return that to Earth. Again, I think the only thing that we're really interested in doing is a bit of a meteor swarm, but we'll do that in a little while. We need to figure out exactly where we'll be placing a few more defenses before we do that. And then I think we're fairly good. Yeah, water production isn't too bad. Everything else seems to be going nicely. Our casino complex, let's go ahead and bump up to the server spots. Save a couple of extra workers, and 24-hour support seems ideal. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so service comfort has dropped ever so slightly, but only by about, I think it was about 18. I think it was sitting at just under 70. So yeah, with a building performance of 100, I'm happy with this. And then... Did we get the upgrade? Oh no, hang on a second. Okay, it's just these flashing lights. Casino is a fancy place, it seems. Yep, jackpots and win big, of course. Yep, all of those classic things. But at the end of the day, the good news is it is ours and the house always wins. So yeah, we don't have to worry about that. We will... make money. Alright, so let's see what else have we got going on. Well, that's still getting the attention it deserves. That's ideal. The rare metals are getting taken out fairly quickly. That's fine. What about these two? This is very high in a couple of thousand. Low in a couple of thousand. You know what? Maybe we should be putting in a machine parts storage nearby too, just for a little bit of extra maintenance. Yes. Yeah, we probably should do that. So... Hang on a second. How many do we have? How many do we need? Probably not very many. Either that or, you know what, maybe it is actually just worth building a triple electric scrubber. It does use a little bit of power, few electronics and metals. But it's only 1.8 power, that's not that bad. And technically, if we build 2 of them... You know what? We have a decent excess of maintenance of electronic parts. You know what? Maybe it is worthwhile doing this. I was leaning against this because I didn't think that it really provided that much value for money. But you know, I guess I may have been wrong. Alright, so let's just pop 2 of these side by side. That should be fine. They'll cover each other. And then once they're done, we don't have to pay any more maintenance. But these are going to be around for quite some time, so yeah, probably should do that. As for this guy, I don't think it's that much of a big deal. We'll have maintenance nearby, but that's not going to be particularly long-lived, so that's fine. And now comes the question, do we want to add in some extra water metals and rare metals? You know what, right now I don't think it's really necessary. We're doing pretty good as far as our consumption and production is concerned, so I think we'll let that be. Yeah, I think that'll be fine. Yeah, all of our water storages are full, more or less. Yeah, increasing at 0.9. You're already full. In fact, huh. I would have thought that we had a little bit more left over. What's going on here? Water production, water demand. Oh, that's right. I think we had an event in the last one where we're consuming a lot more water than what we typically would. Yeah, 400%. So that's, yeah, a little unfortunate, but it is what it is. We also do have 1 homeless person, which is not quite the plan. Where are you? All the way up over here? No specialization. Okay, so here comes the question. Do we move you across? Oh, wait, we have some homeless over here as well. Okay, so you know what? Maybe it's about time we go ahead and... let's go ahead and increase our housing once again. Let's go to our homes and education. Let's build a new apartment block and we'll put that in over here. Actually, you know what? Let's just go side by side. Yeah, maybe we'll chuck a little garden in there or something. But for now, that should be fine. And there is our gene selection as well. So now we have doubled the chances that the colonists will have or gain a rare trait. Excellent. What are we at on now? I'm feeling pretty good about things at the moment. Concrete could be nice. The Mohole mine could be a decent choice. Let's see. Metals, rare metals, and waste rock without needing a deposit. We could theoretically make a magnetic field generator for when we build up a few more of our terraforming things. Either that or actually, you know what? Project Morpheus. That's not terrible. Yeah, let's go ahead and work towards that. Metals and electronics are pretty well in excess right now. 200 concrete isn't exactly too much either. Yeah, I think that's potentially doable. So let's try and go ahead and get that up and working. I think that'd be nice. For now, you know what? I think we should probably try and fill up our large water tanks a little bit further if we can. So let's just quickly turn off our fuel refinery. We have a whole stack of fuel, so that's not too necessary. And what else have we got? We've got a large water tank here. This is all open. In fact, let's just double check. It does have access to water. So that should be good. Yeah, unfortunately we can't dismantle or pack up some of these and move them elsewhere. But we are producing a little bit more water there, so does that increase? Yes, it does. Okay, so 2.5, that's not too bad. Alright, last war, closer to home. Another issue back at Earth.
A blatant lie is gaining traction on Earth.
A faction in the wars on Earth, an alliance of several smaller states, has come out and outright accused Brazil of using the Mars project as a backdrop for developing and testing forbidden weapons, which are then used on their people. The UN has requested that we allow a probe to be made so this nonsense can be cleared, although we fear that instilling such doubts in our colony may have an impact on morale as a whole. What do we do? Well, to be perfectly honest, I don't really like this, but I think it's probably the best for settling war tensions back on Earth. So even though I don't really agree with it, and it does leave us open to being spied upon and all that, I think we go ahead and try and settle this peacefully. Yeah, we'll try and let that go by peacefully, and hopefully that won't cause us too much trouble. Also too, I did forget we did have a rocket back at home. The question is, what do we want to bring? We could, yeah, I don't think anything is really necessary, neither with the prefabs. Yeah, I think we just let things stay as is. Let's go ahead and launch that home. We're not exactly planning on bringing in more people at this stage, especially not Earthborn, less than a day and a half before a dust storm. There's no guarantee that they will make it back in time before that, so they might end up in orbit for a while. So yeah, we'll leave that there. Let's see, apartments, they're still being built, that's good. Let's see, have we got some more prefabs going for drones? Yes, we do. Let's go ahead and, you know what? Let's open up another couple of spots in the workplace, and let's add another 10 drones. Yeah, a few more is never going to go astray. We'll go ahead and we'll release all that we have into this hub for now. Hopefully they can keep things up and running. That should be good. Let's see. Huge lake is being constructed. That's excellent. I'm assuming that the dozer is... No, it says it's idle. Then how on earth is that getting constructed? There's no drone nearby. Maybe it's working and it just isn't telling me. But either way, at least that's not too much of an issue. That will automatically start filling with water because of our bonuses, which is nice. So... You know what? Maybe we just try and find a job for the dozer to go around and do. Let's, what do we want to What do we want to do? You know what? Maybe we clear out this area up over here. I think that seems reasonable. Let's change surface. We want... Oopsie daisies. We want to... Not change surface, but flatten. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and make this as big as we can. Let's start over here. We'll work our way across until it's no longer out of bounds. Too large. Oop. Come on, we can get this. Alright, that'll do. We'll go ahead and do that. And it looks like that's about all we can do. Okay, so we'll leave that be. He can go ahead and clear that out as well. And then after that, let's even go ahead and sort out... I do kind of want to keep a couple of the terrain features, but at the same time too, we do want to get a little bit of extra waste rock or something. You know what, maybe we go ahead and we put the mow hole up over here in some point in the future. Yeah, I think that could be a good idea. Also too, if we go ahead and eventually get those nanobots, we could start building things else. Sorry, I just lost my train of thought. I had a thought, I swear I did. I just don't know what happened to it. But either way, since we are, I know, saying something about science, let's go ahead and check in on our outsourcing. I think that's worthwhile. We have the money. It's easily done. So we'll go ahead and get that out of the way. And I think that should be good. Alright, so how are we doing over here? We have some residents, that's good. No one's really too upset. You're unemployed and a medic. That's peculiar, but alright. Let's go. Hang on a second. So we're going to have 24 people working here. And we have 4, so that leaves us with 20, 17... down to 14. Down to 8. You know what? Let's go with some more medical. Let's open that up. If they want to work there, that's fine. And then outside of that, I think the excess can maybe be engineers for the drone assembler. Yeah, I think that's not a bad way about things. So we don't really need too many specialists. Yeah, so that'll be fine. Looks like we're still making a good way through of these ailments. I am very tempted to go ahead and open up the night shift just to see if we can get some more people through a little bit quicker. But, you know, it is what it is. Oh, and our rocket has made it back, so let's quickly drop that down as well. No point in leaving it in orbit where things can go awry. And yeah, I think that's about it. So let's go ahead and make that a minimum priority. Other things are far more important. We're not going to be sending it off anytime soon. And I think... Oh, actually, you know what? We've got a couple extra... Oh no, that's balancing between low and medium. Alright, well then I guess maybe we just go ahead and continue to unpack what we've got over here. Again, the more drones that are working on this, the better. We are only, what's this, 50 concrete, which we definitely have. 120 more metals, which is easily sorted. And 185 polymers. Well, we're close, so you know what? I guess my calculations were somewhat close to correct. By the time we finally got everything where it needed to be, it would be, yeah, we would have caught up. Alright, so, there we go. Here comes the dust storm. And there's a leak immediately. Alright, let's go ahead and disable. Oh, right, we'd already disabled over here too for some reason. Ah, that could have been affecting our water supply earlier. I could have sworn that there was at least one valve shut, for I thought we should have been rising at a greater rate, but I guess I was incorrect. Well, I wasn't incorrect, I was just in the wrong location. Clearly I missed it. Alright, let's also go ahead and fire off the rejuvenation treatment upgrade for our medical center. That makes a whole stack of sense. And then food-wise, do we want an extra farm? Our production is definitely outpacing our consumption, and that's ideal. How much do we have in the way of food storage? We've still got a decent amount of room. Part of me just wonders whether it's worth building a farm over here just so we get the benefits from having extra comfort from having the farm in the dome. And then maybe we could even go ahead and start harvesting some seeds. I know we're going to need seeds at some point in the future, so maybe it's worth working on one of those about now. Either that or maybe it's... maybe we think about making a farming dome. That wouldn't be the most unreasonable thing either. You know what? I'll have a little bit of a think about that. I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, we wouldn't want to put it too far away from all of our infrastructure. Again, we also want to get all of our food to where it needs to go. We could always place it just slightly further down over here. That would be out of the question. We already have things like triple electric scrubbers in the area, so it's not the end of the world. And speaking of such things, let's just make sure that those are sufficiently covered. There we go. No such issues there. Although, actually, hang on a second. If I've only got a triple electric scrubber for the other triple electric scrubber, we can go ahead and minimize that. This will be able to cover all of those buildings, so that won't require any more maintenance. Hey, there we go. And we're maximizing, minimizing the amount of power we are consuming. Alright, so that's not a bad plan. We also have a whole stack of extra energy, so let's go ahead and get these rare metal refineries up and running. That's fine by me. And then... what else can we go through?
Research complete.
Not really too sure. But I do see we have a leak. No, there is no leak. Alright, well we can go ahead and undo. Yeah, that. Alright. You know, in the future, maybe what we're going to do is we'll just toggle these on and off during an event. That could always be a safe way of doing things as well. Yeah. Alright, but either way, that's CO2 jet propulsion out of the way. Then we'll have our better hangars, better cargo capacity for our things, for our jets. And then let's go with... could go for some faster shuttle speed. In fact, we've got a couple of things that we could possibly do. You know what? This is only going to take us an hour or two. Let's go ahead and get that done. And you know what? A positronic brain? You know, let's build up one of those as well. That's barely going to cause any issues, and that'll give us a nice little buff. In fact, I think I'm even willing to kick the dream reality down a notch or two, just to get those up and running a little bit faster. We could do some smart homes, but again, I don't think that's particularly necessary. Yeah, I don't think that's particularly necessary for now, so we'll just go ahead and leave those be. We'll have that done in... oh, sorry, we'll have compact hangars done in less than a day, and then we might even go ahead and build up our very first shuttle and help reduce the amount of workload that our drones are doing, taking things from place to place. Alright, so, drone assembler, how are you guys going? Couple of prefabs, that's nice. Let's go ahead and continue to put them to work. Dust storm only lasts for 12 more hours, so... it actually looks like everyone's doing fairly well. Yeah, so because he's Martian-born, we don't even have any of the sanity issues. Comfort's also not too bad. The UN inspection is the biggest thing to our morale, it seems. Yeah, everyone looks like they're fairly happy, except for over here, which is... oh, you know what? We can do this for all of them. Oh, my bad. I completely forgot about the infirmary as well. Yes, let's go ahead and control and click. Make sure that all of them get that upgrade. And what do we do? Why are people unhappy? It's just base level of dissatisfaction. Okay, what can we chuck in here that would... oh, what can we do that would make people a little bit happier? Unfortunately, the playground's not really good for adults. But something like that could be a little bit of fun. Let's see. Services. We can't do a gym. We could possibly chuck in a small space bar. Some extra relaxation, social, all of that jazz. We have an amphitheater. Let's see. Art stores would also be possible. You know what? What about a garden and decoration? Yeah, here we go. Exercise, relaxation, and a little bit of playing. I think that's not too bad. Let's put that in over here. And then, yeah, it looks like this small garden's already pretty popular. So, yeah, and then, let's see, that'll leave us with 2 more spaces. Either that or we could happily... maybe we could delete one of those tiny little gardens and chuck in a tiny space bar and get our bots to work it. Yeah, you know what? I think that's probably not a bad idea. We'll go with a small space bar. That is the way we'll go. So let's take this small garden. We'll go ahead and we'll salvage that once the other one is around. Yeah, I think that's not terrible. Oh, and no one's in... oh, no. Yeah, it seems very popular. As soon as someone leaves, someone else is going there. I think that'll just help us improve things a little bit. So I think that's going to be the plan. So let's go ahead and set that to be demolished in a couple of seconds. Please make sure you're not there. And then let's go ahead and build that small space bar. Yeah, if we can increase the happiness a little bit, that is ideal. It also means that if anyone's busy over here and can't get into this space bar, a few people can zip over through the tunnels, which I think is quite reasonable. Alright, so that's all sorted. We'll send that off for more money in a little bit. Still just waiting on these jolly metals and polymers. But again, the polymers are not going to be too far away. And then once we do have that, we'll probably end up disabling the night shift as well. We don't really need people working there that heavily to try and get that all done. Although, it probably wouldn't be the worst if maybe we left it for a day or two, just so we could get these home collective upgrades done a little bit faster and increase the comfort of our people. Yeah, I think that's probably not an unreasonable thing. But either way, that is for us to deal with tomorrow. So if you do want to see more, be sure to hit that subscribe button. It is the best way to catch all future content, and I'll see you next time. So until then, thank you for tuning in to the Leviathan Cove. This is the Leviathan, signing out.